Thanks for the F Shack.
Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this big called, the podcast?
Morning Good. Oh, I love
Hey, welcome to the Earth. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'll start over.
Welcome to Morning Good.
Penis.
All right, we're here with Paddy
Penis.
and my mystery guest.
Hey.
I mean, big morning good heads are going to know who you are. They're going to be like, I know exactly who that is. But, you know.
Is that what your fans are called? The good heads?
The good heads, yeah. My guests are so good at fucking sucking cock, dude. Or my fans, my guests are good at getting their dick sucked.
I think I would be pretty good at it,
How
though.
many good heads are there?
Millions.
Oh yeah. Yo, shout out in the comments if you know who I am, Mr. Guest.
Yeah, I mean, definitely don't, because people will know who there is going to be.
No, they won't.
Sound off.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about sucking a dick? It is kind of appealing.
No.
It's kind of
But,
like
okay, I'll
it's
keep
like
an open mind.
peeling a banana and then sucking a
This is
banana.
where we're going to start the episode, is that?
Yeah.
So
Well,
what-
I've thought about it.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but like I just first off, I don't know. I think it would taste horrible at first. And the second you taste a penis, there's no way it tastes good.
Yeah, but you would recognize it right away.
You'd be like,
yeah, that's
yeah.
my cock.
Yeah. Why does this taste like my uncle? There'd be,
Yeah, it
there'd
gives
be
you a
instant
flashback.
nostalgia.
Oh. You just
Oh
turn
my
into
God.
Raven Simone. You're like, shh.
Coach Andrews?
Yeah.
The weirdest is you ever get like a random smell, and you're like, I've smelled this, and I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because smell is the most powerful memory sense.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the most powerful memory sense.
Like it's the most connected to your memory. Like, and you smell something more powerful than anything. It'll like remind you of shit, even if you can't remember what it is.
That makes sense.
You'll just get like deja vu or something because you smell something.
Yeah.
Raviolis, I gotta check something, but I'm still talking. Raviolis.
Raviolis.
What a cliffhanger.
Ravioli, that's a weird one where like I don't remember eating much raviolis as a kid, but I'll have like Chef Boyardee's, then it'll just throw me back to like
Oh, yeah.
just a really weird spot in my life.
Do you remember when there was a time when people were getting beefaroni and it
What's
was
a
just like,
beefaroni?
it's just like the noodles covered in like meat sauce.
Like Chef Boyardee's.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
But everyone was like getting them and they're like, yeah, these are like full of glass. It just like it cuts to like it was like videos of little kids who's like, beefaroni was my favorite thing ever. And then I ate some and my mouth was bleeding. Everyone's like, we have to kill Chef Boyardee.
Dude, it is so funny too, because like I like when people are surprised that there's crazy people out there that just want to fuck shit up. It's like, yeah, part of that is exciting. Like I get if you like hated your life and you worked in a ravioli factory, you're like, I'm just gonna start putting glass in here today.
Yeah.
You're like, why would I not just fuck this up for everybody?
You remember there was one of those like mass hysteria moments where the news was freaking out because there was like horse meat found in something.
That's who cares?
But it was like weeks of that, of people being like, I can't believe we were eating horse meat. And then like the meat industry was like, yeah, you've been eating like horse meat forever.
That's awesome. Just picturing a
Horse meat,
guy
yeah.
in like a fucking apron. He's like, you guys are fucking stupid. Tell you what, you probably eating a couple people, throwing some babies in there. You guys been eating all kinds of stuff.
It was like one brand got in trouble for it.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
all the other brands were like, oh, no. We're selling you horse meat.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
what meat is. It's
Yeah, yeah.
usually horse.
Well, then it's like, what is it? Fucking, there's all kinds of stuff. Like Jello's made, I think Jello's made out of hooves, right?
Jello and glue, they're like, I remember being a kid and they're like, we just take an entire horse and boil it into glue. And I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, that's the only way we can make glue is by killing an entire horse.
Yeah. You think it is?
I don't know. They always say like it involves hooves, but like,
Ever touched a horse?
no. I'm
What?
way too scared. Yeah.
You're scared of horses? They're the sweetest little guys.
They are huge.
They're big guys.
Yeah.
They're like little,
Very sticky.
yeah, but they're like giant.
That would be like touching
dumb.
a car that has the mind of a horse. You know? I feel like no.
But
I
they're
don't-
so soft, dude. And they're
I don't like walking behind a horse. But when you pet a horse up front, you're like, this is an amazing moment.
oh wow.
Because you touch this animal that's so much bigger than you, and it's like
It understands.
yeah,
you.
it's like
Yeah.
connecting to you and like letting you pet it.
Yeah.
It's really that's why like people stop doing drugs after they meet a horse.
Yeah, well,
Really?
they do that in a lot of rehabs. They'll like
Yeah,
take
they'll like
people
send you
pet
to
horses.
like if you're a teenager.
Then you
who's,
start
like,
fucking
unruly.
horses.
Yeah.
That's another problem.
If you have an
Why am I
unruly
addicted to everything?
Yeah.
I didn't know that people touch a horse and it's like
Well, that's
it's
some
like-
rehab, like what he's saying. They'll send you to a place in the desert, and one of the ways they'll try to like change your behavior is by letting you hang out with a horse.
Yeah.
It like calms you down and teaches you that life is bigger than just you.
I do like their lips. Like when you hold the sugar cubes, they're like,
Oh, it's so
You know,
cute.
yeah.
But then no part of you wants to feel those little things on your hand.
dude, me and like wildlife, even though that's not wild, it's tamed. We don't get along all that
Really?
well. Yeah, not all that sweet.
I had a horse step on my foot one time when I was a kid. And I
Really?
bragged about it for like 10 years. Like literally, I was like, it stepped on my foot and left like a bloody, like it was fine. Like it just caused like, and I remember it barely hurt me, but for some reason, there's a time period in my life where I just didn't feel a lot of pain. I don't know what was going on. But I just remember like being 3 years where I'd go around and tell people to punch me in the stomach to show how tough I was. And it like wouldn't hurt. I'd do all these like
Jesus,
cool
dude.
tough guy things. And then randomly everything just started hurting.
But once you started wearing those glasses, then the real tough guys slid away.
I had something similar, but I felt pain. But I was like, I realized at one age, I was like, you can just decide that something doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
And it's like not that, like if you bitch about it, it'll hurt more.
Totally.
So I could like take a lot of pain. And then one day I was like, but why am I putting myself through this?
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm
To
hurting
feel,
myself.
Jake.
Yeah.
Those horses, they wouldn't let you touch the horse, so you had to harm yourself.
But it's like I think I do agree with like the kind of thing is like whenever I do something to impress my friends that was physically painful, it would never hurt. Like when it's like, okay, touch the shock pen. It would hurt for a second, but you'd be like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or like do stuff like that.
I know I have a high tolerance for pain because like doctors say that. I clinically am a cool
That
guy.
just seems like it's like some form of like just jazzing you up. It's kind of
Yeah.
like when your grandma
They're
says
like,
you're
wow.
handsome. You're the strongest guy.
Yeah.
Really, every time you're at the doc, they do like the reflex test. And they're like, wow, you can take a hard tap. And you're like, I know.
I know. That was the-
I've been to the doctor before.
You know what though? You want to hear this? I was doing these OCD tests for wait, can you finish your thing and then I'll finish?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I went to when I had my appendix out. They were like, "Do you need like do you need like medicine or anything?" I'm like, "No, I don't feel. It feels fine."
Yeah,
right
you
now."
said the
And
only
they're
thing
like,
I'm addicted
"What?"
to is rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, "No, do you have a horse nearby I can pet?" That's all the opioids I need. That was it. That was all I got to say.
Well, I was doing these OCD tests, and it was like they took me into this thing, and they're like, "You're gonna be comfortable in an MRI machine, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally. It's not gonna scare me at all." And part of me was like, "It might scare me, but like I'm gonna be tough enough to do it." And then the second they put me in, I was like, "Ah!" And I started like freaking out. They took me out.
I agree, dude.
It's
I
terrifying.
was in an MRI machine when I was like 18.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's like a little weird. You might feel like a little uncomfortable in there. And I was like, I can see it. Like, I can see you guys. It's fine. And then when they put me in, I was like, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I was like trembling. My
Oh,
hands
it's
were
so scary. And like also like, so the OCD test, they had to do it in upstate. So they're taking me, they gave me like a ride. I got like $300 for this through like NYU. And they're just doing clinical research. And by the way, terrible research. It's the dumbest thing. It's like, does this make you, it's like we're throwing money away with this fucking it's like somebody's done this study before. But either way, we're driving to upstate.
They just throw like a bunch of like cards on the ground. They're like, "Are you freaking out?"
The doctor comes in with like a ghost mask on, like a scream thing. He's like, are you just scared?
Is this doing anything for you? Just zips his pants. No. Okay. Check.
But they fucking like it was so creepy because like we're going to upstate and like that's where it's creepy because we're driving through the woods past mental institution and it's like NYU depart.
That's the most southern thing I've ever heard you say.
What?
We're going to upstate. We're on our way to upstate.
What do you call outside of New York City?
You go. I'm going upstate.
What did I call it? Going to upstate?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so we're on our way to upstate.
Yeah, I don't know how to say any of that stuff, but it felt very Shutter Island-y, where it was like,
Yeah, you might not return, dude.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
like an ass. You're not supposed to go back down, dude.
oh no, yeah. And then the security guard up front is like this giant guy. I'm like, this is for sure the guy. When I'm escaping the thing, I finally break out of the lab, and he's like,
Yeah, it's
gotta get
just
past me.
Mike from Better Call Saul. And where do you think you're going?
yeah.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put that dunce cap on. You're gonna turn around, and you're gonna walk back inside.
That's what I felt like. And then I get into the MRI machine. It's an Indian guy, and it was so funny too. He was trying to like he's trying to make it like not scary. He's like, trust me, you'll be fine. He's like, we put a woman in here last week. She was so fat. She was so big and big fatty. And she's like, and she was not a problem. So you'll be totally fine. You'll be able to get out.
You'll be totally fine, and I got her number.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of like India, I was thinking of like the eclipse, how funny. Like they didn't have the eclipse in India, right? This was just like a New York kind of thing or whatever.
It was like a North American thing.
Okay.
We weren't even in the direct path of it.
Yeah. But like I was imagining like while the eclipse was going on and everyone's standing outside, I was imagining what it would be like in India to like witness an eclipse and just seeing like the moon coming and like touching next to the sun. And they're just like, oh yeah, push them together for me. Come on now. Like they think they're boobs. Oh wow, just a bunch of people catcalling an eclipse. Wow, you should squeeze them together for me one more time. Thank you very much.
I'll be
Anyway,
honest. I hate to ruin momentum, but I'm fake laughing, right?
Yeah, me
Didn't
too.
quite do it for me.
I'm fake laughing too.
Yeah, you're not even laughing.
Good bit.
But yeah,
Let's start over.
the thing that was funny though is I get out of the machine and then they were acting like they were so proud of me. They were like, the dog's like, you should be very proud of yourself. You were a very brave man today.
Do you think it's because they told him like we got the OCD people coming in, like take it easy?
Yeah,
on
they're
him,
gonna
like,
be freaking out there. Well, and when I was in there, a part of me just like imagined, like because we're next to the psych ward, that like I was gonna get stuck in there, and then they were gonna break out and like just skull fuck my doctor, and like I'm gonna be like stuck in the machine, and like I just picture like the worst case scenarios possible happening.
Yeah.
And then, but it was funny too because there was like two cute like lab assistants too, and they're like, "You were so brave." I was
Oh,
like,
that's-
no. It wasn't even that scary for me. Like I was trying to.
Were
have
you
to,
wearing those glasses?
I wasn't even that afraid of it. Yeah.
No, it was honestly pretty easy. I could do
Yeah.
that any day.
Yeah, well, I had the same thing at the hospital. Like the doctor did like a when I got blood drawn, I like freaked out, and then the next night I went was like a hot nurse, and I was immediately like, yeah, this fucking doesn't scare me at all. I'm like
Take
the toughest guy. It's so funny too because I'm like, what do I think's gonna? What do they think I'm gonna fuck this nurse? Like it's not gonna happen. But in my head, I still try to like look attractive and the dumbest. When I was that was one thing I miss about being in a relationship because I just did not care how I looked ever. Mm-hmm. Now it's like I was going.
Oh, we know. Like,
Now it's like I'm going to the airport and like putting mints in. I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck somebody on the plane. Like, what do I think is gonna happen?
you might, dude.
Yeah.
I always want, like, when I was a kid and I first started watching porn, and like you just see a video where like a guy walks into like a shop and then the woman bends over and then they just start fucking. Like I thought that was like a possibility.
No. It takes hours of convincing a woman to have sex with you.
Yeah.
You got to prove you're not a serial killer, but also not a giant pussy at the same time, which is a really hard balance.
It is.
Like
yeah.
I'll go on like dates around like Times Square, and I'm like walking towards like a pier, and I'm like, not that way. Let's walk in the brightest place possible. I'm not a fucking serial killer. But then I've heard girls tell me on dates that I act kind of gay because I'm like, I'm just trying to seem not threatening. And it's like years of relationships where you have to act gay around women you're not.
It's a lose-lose, dude, with these gals.
I don't think so. Sometimes you get pussy and it feels really good on your dick. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah. Guy who's trying to convince another guy that sex is good. I don't know, man. I'm just saying it feels
It's almost
good.
like it's supposed to go in there. It just feels right,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know.
you just gotta like just be cool, you know? Just be cool.
I mean, you got to tell me that. I guess
It's
fucking
fine.
sick. People that don't know, Patty's got blue sunglasses on. You've got the
I can look at the eclipse whenever. Anytime it's an eclipse, I'm prepared.
You should wear those eclipse glasses outside of my big. Nah, it's coming back. They don't want you to notice it's coming back.
I'm gonna wear these just in like a week from now. I'm gonna go stand in the middle of the street and stare at the sun. People are like,
Be like, these are the
"I know
glasses.
you missed it," and I'm like, "No, I'm early for the next one." You're all missing it.
Those look like the 3D glasses you need to see like the new Jordan Peele movie.
They give you like plastic, like sunglasses. They give you like 3D Ray-Ban glasses.
Yeah, now.
It's kind of annoying. I'm like, I want the shitty ones.
oh, the red and blue ones are fun.
I want the red and blue ones. That's like the classic look.
yeah.
Because then you can go like this, and you're like,
Then
ooh,
you can
blue
wear 'em
movie.
to a party and put a lampshade on your head, and everyone's like, "What the hell?
What is that?
It's out of control.
This guy's nuts."
Is there a 3D eclipse coming?
I used to make my own 3D. Oh my god, this is so fun.
We should have stared at the eclipse with the red and blue 3D glasses. Made your head explode.
Dude, I used to. You know how you'd have the red and blue. So I had the red and blue glasses because I had this Titanic like pop up like 3D book where you look through it and it'd be like 3D image of the Titanic.
Damn.
And I realized to make 3D, you just have to have red and blue together. like to make a 3D picture. So I started drawing when I was a kid, like pictures of naked chicks with red and blue like marker to try to make like a 3D image.
Just big red and blue boobs.
And it worked, but they're just like slightly off the page. I was like, nice.
Damn, dude.
They look like they're slightly closer to my eyes.
That's a really good idea.
yeah.
I wonder if somehow I could do that with News from Bed. Is like make it 3D.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you just have like the red and blue, like it's literally red and blue together. They just have to be on the same, I think, either different or the same side of the glass.
Do you know how crazy
Or
like
you
people
just like how do these work? Or how do like 3D glasses that are just two like black lenses? How do those work? Are those red and blue too?
that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, what those are
Are
is
they
they're
like slightly red and blue?
no, I think that's some sort of distancing thing. Like there's like one that's like further away. Like it's
It's like multiple things.
yeah.
Dude, could you imagine how crazy the fans from News from Bed would be if the feet would like come out of the TV at them?
God, dude, they would be busting.
Can anyone, where do I get a good pair of 3D glasses? Mine are covered in jizz.
Dude, that was the worst. Is like you remember like that the 3D thing came back for like 1 year and everybody thought
The
like,
TV, the 3D TV.
yeah, that's why I've never gotten into the whole like I don't know. I never get into those trends that people just act like are like giant, like the VR goggles and stuff like. I'm like, I know will be fun for like a week and then nobody.
Yeah.
I tried 3D porn and me and my ex were like breaking up because I didn't want to do it while we were dating, and it was like a week out. I'm like, this isn't technically cheating. And then it just takes so much time to like set up the thing.
Yeah.
And then you feel like such a fucking idiot when you got cum on your stomach and glasses on your head. It's like the worst post nut clarity ever. You're like, I'm jerking off and I'm a fucking nerd pussy. You're like, I thought this is like the lamest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, dude. The cooler porn gets, the sadder the fall off is afterward.
Oh yeah. The more effort you put. That's why I quit watching porn. But yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was having sex with somebody, I was thinking about how cool a porn I watched the week before was, and I'm like, that's not.
This would be so cool if she was an orc
Yeah.
and I was a bar wench. Damn.
Yeah, I was like, this is like wildly unhealthy for me to do this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know, I feel like the whole erection thing too, it's like I'll occasionally have dick problems, and I'm like, if I just was not watching porn, that'll probably be some of the issue fixed. So.
Yeah.
Is this podcast sponsored by Blue Chew?
It should be, dude. Because I've been fucking
This
hungry
this
hitting
podcaster
those things like a maniac, dude. Yeah, like
You
I
keep them in like a Ziploc bag, like trail mix.
Well, the funniest was fucking
just
like
put it in a bird feeder. Michael's like on the wall.
the funniest was the text I sent Pat. Like the text I sent you yesterday was like me like just gotta be like, hey guys, because I was out of town. I was in Florida for a while. And I had like one Blue Chew left there. So I'm texting you guys like, hey, like just being playful. Like, hey, did the Blue Chew come in? But like low-key, I was like terrified. I was like, did the Blue Chew come in? Because I need it.
Oh yeah, because you said package, and I was like, no, because you had another package.
What's
I
in
was
discreet packaging? We've gone over this.
Yeah. Speaking of discreet,
Yeah, so how would I know what it is? It shows up and you're like, did my dick pills come? You wouldn't, I mean, it's just,
Well, Patty immediately walked
Or
in and goes,
did a
I know what
package come?
these are.
what if we were like, no, and then you walked in, we're both standing there with boners.
Haven't seen
Didn't,
him.
didn't see anything. It's weird. Maybe someone stole them. Our nipples are out. Dude, those things do make me feel like they make you feel kind of invincible in a way.
Yeah, dude. They're amazing. But it's like one of those things where I'm going off of them. Like I'm taking them here and there. I'm trying to take them less and less.
You're weaning off.
I'm weaning. I'm weaning. I'm wienering off the Blue Chews. That'd be funny to just say that to a doctor about something like you're going through like hair withdrawal. I'm gonna try to wean her off. You know?
Yeah, and he's like, what? Just trying to get my wiener off of these.
But it was funny too because I had one ready to go because I thought something was a date this week that was just totally not. And did you hear about this?
Okay. No.
Dude, there is not a more embarrassing and stupid feeling in the world when you think you're going on a date. And it's just not at all.
Have you ever been on the date?
No, I haven't.
And then you say something, and they're like, "Wait, do you think this is a date?" You've never had that happen, dude.
Wait, can you tell me this one?
Yeah, I met a girl at a bar, and she was like really into comedy, and she was like so beautiful, and I like got her number, And I was like, hey, do you want to like meet at this bar for a drink or whatever? And she's like, yeah, that'd be fun. And it was just me and her. And she looked like so nice. And like we were both drinking. And then like she went and put like a song on the jukebox and I loved it. And I was like, yeah, like maybe sometime like we could like, I don't know, get dinner or something or like do something at my place. And she's like, well, I thought we were just going to like hang out at the bar, like be bar friends. And I was like, oh, you want to be like friends? She's like, yeah, you thought this was a date? And I was like, and then she turned to the bartender and she's like, Ted, this guy thinks like I'm on a date with her. And I was like, and he's like, oh man, or whatever. And of course, like the bartender's like a hotter guy who she knows. And I'm I'm nothing. I'm
Come
such
on,
a
Carol, I'm
piece
gonna
of
go
shit.
fuck you in the back. What an idiot right here.
This idiot doesn't know she'll just fuck everyone. Like
He's just fucking her. He goes, sorry, I can't keep fucking you. I can't, that guy thought he was gonna fuck you. What a goddamn idiot.
yeah.
It is really like the most embarrassing feeling on the planet. Like I was like, I thought I had like a date last time I was in town. I was like some girl we like made out in high school, but like we weren't really friends outside of that. Mm-hmm. And then she like followed the podcast and stuff. She'll probably hear this. I don't really give a fuck. But she followed the podcast and stuff like that and like would like videos. I'm like, oh, she's probably just like a comedy fan. But she's like, let me know when you're in town. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, I have a show, blah, blah. And then she didn't want to see the show. I was like, oh, we can grab drinks. And then I'm wearing like I'm wearing like my best out. I'm so excited. I'm like putting cologne on. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna look so cute on this day. Like looking at my mom's like, I'm like, Mom, I can't talk right now. Like, you know, those things you're like, no. I gotta look cute as hell for this date. And then I'm driving over there and I get a text like, is it cool if my roommate comes through too? And I'm like, definitely. And then I was just like, fuck!
Definitely.
Threesome.
Sitting in the Uber like,
Definitely not. Definitely.
Montage of you like in the mirror trying out different outfits. Telling your mom, not now, Mom, I gotta look cute. Hopping in the Uber like, whew. She's like, cool if my roommate and my boyfriend come, and you're like, oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just your mom in the living room and you walk out, you're like dressed as a sultan. She's like you come out, you're like a sailor and she's like and you just have your normal clothes and she's like
that'd be so funny. I'm dressed like a sailor on the date.
Yeah,
and her roommate shows up and I'm like, this wasn't a date? God, I feel like a fucking idiot.
This wasn't a date. I was ready to drop anchor tonight.
I would have worn my normal army man outfit if I would have known that. Do you mind if I switch into something else? I come back as like a gladiator. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, fine. Casual clothes. Oh man.
but it's just that feeling is just like real embarrassing. You're like,
it's really embarrassing. It's like embarrassing and then
because I would have grabbed. I mean, like she's cool. Like I was happy. I was like, oh, I would totally like. It was the problem is like the lead up. Like if it wasn't 3 days beforehand, and I was like, oh, okay, so I got it this day, and I'm great. I told you I banged some fat chick on a balcony like the night before. Like I was getting greedy.
That's structurally not very responsible.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I feel like if you plan to get a drink with someone that you don't know that well, it's like kind of. Is it on you that you thought it was a date?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think it was very, but like then I look back at the text and I'm like, oh, some of them were kind of like me being like, let's grab drinks versus her being like. But I mean, saying like, hey, I want to, like, I don't know. It's really hard with the comedy to know what is. And I really appreciate her bringing her because I'd have no fucking idea if not.
Yeah, that's probably why she did it. Because she's probably like, oh, he thinks this is a date.
That's like,
Totally,
that's
but
like she handled that right. She was like,
100%.
oh, this guy thinks it's a date.
Yeah. 100%. It would be so funny if I didn't get the cue. I'm like, threesome ladies. I sit right between them and put my arms around them like, so.
Yeah. You all ready to set sail?
Yeah. We doing this in my car or yours?
on the SS Gonorrhea.
Yeah, no, it was fucking funny. But yeah, that's one of those things too that I was like, oh, I wish I would have known earlier, but she probably didn't know. She probably like didn't know that I thought that's what was going on until like
no, like girls like usually assume like the most safe thing, like the most like first, and then they'll go to like this. We are the other way.
Yeah. By the way, if you're a female friend of mine, I would fuck you at any moment. You give me the thumbs up, we're doing. No,
not joking.
No. There's a lot like comics, like I mean, and outside of comics, like
I'm actually very surprised you don't. hook up with comics.
No, dude. I'm like, well, it is funny too because this happened one time before. This was really funny. I had a show at a comedy club, and I hit on one of the waitresses. Or no, I was out, and the waitress like was really hitting on me. She missed the first 2 nights of shows, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, let me get your number." So it was like all instigated by her. Like I'd never purposely go out of my way to hit on a waitress. By the way, when I was in a relationship, I was like, "Fuck that!" I was like, "You guys are idiots. You're gonna throw away your career for some pussy." I was like, "You guys are fucking morons."
Yeah.
And then the opportunity is there for me, and I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
I can bend the rule." What are you looking at? You can't see anything. You can see the lights.
Yeah, that's the point of these.
Oh, I didn't know you could see the lights.
You look directly at the light.
Oh yeah. But
No, but I would throw away peace in the Middle East for pussy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, what happened was like she's like, "Oh, I missed the first couple nights." She's like, "How do I know you're funny?" And I was like, "Oh, you'll see the show tomorrow night. You'll know I'm funny." Bombed so hard that she would avoid eye contact when I'd walk by. Like literally, I'd walk by and then just head down. And then I fucking like, what was it? Like, I texted her. I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty brutal." She goes, "Yeah, that was a lot." So yeah, you could totally. But I was like, that's probably for the best because at least that's what I got to tell myself. But yeah, no, that's like not that risk is so because then it's like even if things went well, it's like if I go back in town again and then hooked up with somebody else and it's like it's a fucking terrible.
Yeah, you
Just
probably
don't do
want to
it.
keep clear of all that. Just keep
100%.
sticking with those like fat. Just the fat.
It was great, dude. It was at my friend's balcony, and it had been a while since I hooked up with a bigger girl, and just you forget how awesome it is. It's a great
dude.
experience.
It's like a bouncy house.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, she was hot, huge tits. Like I think if they have big boobs, then it kind of evens out, or like a big butt where it like.
Yeah.
She was sucking my dick, and I was like wrapping my legs around her, and like really feeling like, damn, she's really fat. This is not like I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been with like a fat girl, which is surprising as a fat man myself.
You're not fat.
No, I'm pretty fat, dude.
You think you're fat?
Yeah. Dude, if I was naked right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm naked fat. And neck fat. Neck and naked.
I'm naked fat. I'm telling you, I get naked, I look fat.
Maybe that's just the human body.
Yeah, dude, it rarely, maybe probably looks pretty hot naked.
Does like to like knock on my door and just slide like a wet shirtless body into my
One time
view.
I knocked on Patty's door after I got out of the shower to tell him something because I had an idea. And then Patty got flustered.
I was like, holy shit. Also, by the way,
Well, we're gonna beep all this.
I don't know if I told you, I don't know if you told you this, but
Mystery guess.
Yeah.
mystery guest over here. I was like on a dating app recently and I matched with a girl who like only spoke Spanish. So I was like trying to send her some messages in Spanish to like get her to come over to English. So I was like looking stuff up on my computer and I didn't realize I left it up and comes into my room and he's just like, "What are you doing?" And he points to the screen. On the screen, it just says, "How do you say you are so beautiful in Spanish?"
He's on Google Translate. I was like, what are you doing?
It's like, fuck, dude.
That is
God,
that is-
it was
I would
so
rather have caught
embarrassing.
you watching porn.
I would have rather been watching gay.
I would have
porn.
rather you caught me watching porn.
Shut up, sexy.
See, I'm really
You sexy guy.
I think I've told you this. I'm like weirdly unattracted to foreign women because it just reminds me of somebody being lost. Like when I hear somebody speak broken
Yeah.
English, they'd be like, "This is the most smart Russian scientist." I'm gonna be like, "Ma'am, do you know where you are right now?" She's like, "I don't know."
I'm not attracted to foreign women. I don't. It kind of turns me off when someone doesn't understand like sarcasm and
That's-
irony
yeah.
and stuff. 'cause
Which
I'm like,
Russian women do not.
That's like how I talk.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm joking around, and if you don't think that's anything, then like you're gonna hate me.
Yeah, what do
Yeah.
I have to offer?
I got like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. The what is it too? The British is hot to me. That she going, "Oh, no, you get over here. You know, you
What?
come over here. I'm gonna give you a cork of sock.
You like that?
Whip it out. Let me see that guy. Give a little
like
lick for you.
Captain Barbosa from Pirates of the Caribbean.
You take your cork, put
Oh,
it in
yeah.
my mouth,
Love
and
it,
I'm
love
gonna
it.
give you a nice big lick.
Of a hot British lady. Oi, oi, get over here, honey.
You gonna get spit on the tip, or you want me to do it for you? All right, here we go.
Every sure me poop that
Oh yeah, put it right in my ass.
name's Elizabeth Swan. This dress is too bloody tight around my waist.
I love the idea of I don't know who Keira Knightley is, and I'm talking about one of the pirates in the movie. I'm like, yeah, dude, Keira Knightley was so fucking hot.
When Keira Knightley pops her eyeball out, oh god! All I want to do is shove it up my ass.
Yeah, give it a little spank.
I wonder if that's how if he pops his eyeball out and gives it to a woman, she just puts it in his mouth, in her mouth, and he's like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Here is 20 doubloons.
Dude, have you seen that one guy? I think his name is something White.
Do you think a pirate's ever a cheeky pirate ever hired a prostitute? He's like, here's some booty for
Your booty.
Just a joke.
Just-
I am asexual.
Just a joke. My cock was blown off in the cannonball fight of the salty break. But you do have a nice booty.
Was who's that one guy? There's this one guy. He's like he's an internet comedian. He's this black dude whose eye pops out of his head. It's like something I forgot. People are gonna kill me, but this guy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not really that on the internet.
Into black people?
No. Shabani is one of my favorites.
He can
that
pop
again.
his. Other than that, he's like a regular looking guy.
Yeah, but he does this thing where he scams everybody and like he's talking about how like he just every company he's sued for racism. He's like, yeah, what I motherfucking do is I fucking do this, and that, sue the company for racism, move on to the next company. And he's like literally one of the funniest people I've ever seen. But I forgot. I think he does stand up too now. But I don't know.
Oh,
He's just a
wow.
guy with a missing eye.
That's a pretty cool grift. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, dude, grifting's kind of
Yeah.
sick if you know how to do it.
There's not a lot of white guy grifts. I mean,
There's a
podcasts.
shitload of white guys.
What are you talking about?
That's the one we can't do.
Yeah.
I could do any of the other
Well, you can
ones.
do those too. People now sue company for reverse discriminate like all the time. Like you get sued.
For reverse discrimination? Like you didn't discriminate me enough?
No, reverse discrimination is like when white people are racist against somebody's racist against white people.
Oh, isn't that just discrimination?
Yeah.
Why do they do this to us whites?
I don't know.
They're
I don't
like, we have to
I
make a
don't
new
believe
rule
any of
for the
that
white people.
stuff.
You don't believe in discrimination?
Well, I'm not like reverse racism is not nearly as big an issue as people make it out.
oh, totally. But it also doesn't make sense. People say it's not. They're like, it's not right. Well, it is the same thing. You just renamed it something else.
Well, it's just like some people are like companies trying so hard to prove that they're doing the right thing that they're like they'll just hire someone.
We killed
They
five white
won't
guys
hire
in
someone
bed.
just because they're white.
Yeah.
And I guess you could sue for that, but it's like, that's not every company.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. It's like I was talking to Kim back about that. He was talking about the pilot thing. He's like, now they're just hiring, the worst pilots ever because of this and that. I was like, I'll die. I'll die. I'll
Yeah.
fucking die. Dude, if I have to fly, dude, that Frontier shit pissed me the fuck off. Not that the listeners want to hear that, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. I almost, I don't know, dude. I got really fucking mad at Frontier Airlines.
They are like it's like a Disney airline, right? Where it's like a lot of people go into Disney World.
I don't know what it is. It's like the shit they pulled is they said they're like, I was trying to check in on my phone. They were like, you can't check in on your phone for like no reason other than they're just like it's not compatible or whatever. Like
Yeah.
check into the front desk, and I get there 58 minutes before. They're like, it's too late, and it was just a line full of people that they're like, yeah, no, you got to be here 2 hours before you want to fly Frontier.
Dude, the like stringency at airports has gotten so far. Like it's gone so far since 9/11. Like I think another 9/11 needs to happen.
But then that
them
would just push them even further.
Yeah, but I think then they'll be like, okay.
You say that though, but you can just bring drugs on any airplane and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I know multiple people who've brought cocaine through customs. Never a problem.
Everyone I know who accidentally brings it across is like fine.
Dude, I know people who purposely, accidentally. I know somebody that got caught with mushrooms at the airport and they just threw them out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like they really do not fucking care.
If I like,
I think it's a bigger. I mean, if you have like a certain amount on you,
Yeah.
and it's packaged a certain way, they'll be like, all right, you're like, this is.
I wonder how they
intent to
decide
sell.
that though, because the guy at the airport's like, "That's not even that much, dude. I took fucking 10 grams one time. It's not enough to."
Yeah, they take a look at you. If you look like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, they're like, okay, this is fine.
Speaking of that, I told you there's a white guy. There's a white guy with dreadlocks in the gym, just dancing in the gym, like dancing like through the equipment and everything, and he was like just acting like it was his workout.
Was he fit?
Kind of. He was
Yeah.
shirtless. He had, imagine like just a sheet with a hole cut in it, and that was like his shirt.
Yeah.
And he was just wearing it like that. And he's just dancing around. It's so funny when people act like drugs aren't so bad for you. It's like, dude, I know some people who've just done so much. Like, I argued this for years. I was like, acid's not even bad for you. But it's tough to know too, because maybe some people just do so much acid, because other people seem to be fine and do a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I think there's like a threshold with acid that you hit where it just completely destroys your brain.
And it seems like it's acid specifically, because it's like I know people do a lot of mushrooms and DMT and they're fine, but people that just do too much acid, there's something that happens where it's like
Yeah, something with the name, maybe. That like
acid.
yeah.
Mushrooms too. Any like hallucinogenic drug. If you just do it all the time too much, like it's just going to change the way your brain works.
But I think if you could separate, I think the problem is the people that think it's real and they're like, oh, that's the reality, this is the fake reality. Versus if you could be like, this is just an experience I'm having on drugs. That's
I think
like,
it seeps in though, dude, because like DMT, when I did DMT, like I've believed in God ever since.
yeah.
And like that's not going away. I can't stop believing in God, which sucks. 'Cause now all my decisions have consequences.
Yeah.
Thanks, DMT.
Oh, did I tell you about? I think I told you about that. My dad drove that Satanist around.
No.
Dude, my dad, just this is slightly related consequences. My dad picked up a hitchhiker one time when he was younger, and this guy was a Luciferian, so like not a Satanist. And he picks up the guy, he's like, oh, I'm a Satanist. He goes, what does that mean? He's like, well, I believe in the devil. He's like, I was a Christian, and there's one rule that if you break it, you're going to hell. And it says that in the Bible. I've broken it, so I'm going to fucking hell.
Wait, what's the rule?
If you curse at God, like you basically say, like, fuck you, God. Like I remember one time I was, yeah, dude, you're fucked.
No, I mean you just said it.
Yeah, but I believe in a God for the most part. I'm agnostic, but I don't think he's out there like, you better not say mean things to me. Like, there's no way.
What if I call the God the N-word? Does that count? Because that's post-biblical.
I think it depends on what your opinion on that is. If you like black people, then it's not going to send you to hell. But if you do, but that is wild that you could literally like cut a baby's head off or like shoot a mom in the face. And that's for evil, but like you can't say mean things to God. Like it's fucking so stupid. But anyways, the guy said, oh yeah, basically he told my dad as he's driving, he goes, yeah, I already know I'm going to hell. So he's like, it's kind of freeing. He's like, I feel like I have no consequences for any of my actions. He's like, my dad's just driving this guy like, oh God, that is.
Yeah, but what are the actual actions that guy's he's just doing drugs and being a selfish
Yeah,
guy.
it's like I eat fucking
doesn't call his
Pop-Tarts
mom
every
back.
morning, baby.
Yeah. Guy,
God
people-
can suck my dick.
Yeah.
most people you meet that talk like that are like the lamest guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, most Satanists are not like.
He's just putting butter on the other side of the bread too. I'm on the highway to hell. Well, now.
Yeah, like you ever just meet a guy at a bar who just really wants to talk about his beliefs?
Yeah.
And it's
That's
shit like that.
That's me. I'm an annoying person, and I know I am.
I mean, fucking at comedy clubs, you mean all the like after you do a set and you're like, I had a good set, and then people want to talk to you, and there's always a guy who wants to talk to you that you're like, this guy just thinks we're friends now. He just like heard my voice
Yeah.
for a while, and he just wants to be like, oh, dude, I actually agree with that point because I'm a Luciferian, so
Yeah.
that's just the way I think about it. And you're like,
I had a guy because like I talk
this guy's
about
an alcoholic.
I talk about like having to wear stockings and stuff, and I had this guy come up to me after, and I was like smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "Smoking's actually fine for your lungs." He's like, "But what you should be doing is eating a lot of almonds." I was like, "Dude, I don't care. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, this is like that's why I eat like shit. Like, I don't like when people are like, "Oh, you should be like running and doing this." It's like, yeah, but I don't want to even do this. like.
How
why?
close to suicidal are you?
What's the like? I would never kill myself, but like, what's the reason to do it other than to like do this longer?
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I think what happens is like right now, you like everybody's in that boat where I'm kind of in the same boat too. I'm like, who cares if I fucking live to whatever? I'll take 1,000 blue chews and drink 1,000,000 gallons
Yeah,
of vodka. But
and
then
then
I
you
get
turn-
like 60. And I'm like, fuck. And the doctor's like, it's irreversible. You've taken a dangerous amount of blue chew.
Yeah, your
It's
dick is
irreversible. Your dick will never be soft again.
permanently hard.
No.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Well, there are people. What is that thing? There is that thing with a guy. The guy like got struck by lightning, and then he just was coming all the time. I don't know. I
Oh
don't know if it's
yeah.
a real. The second I say something like that, I'm like, this can't be a real story. I don't know if he was struck by lightning. I think he got in an accident where like it is a legitimate thing where it's like constant orgasm syndrome.
Yeah.
And like as he was saying bye to his dad dying, he was just fucking busting. Like he said it came like 5 times when his dad was dying in the hospital.
God.
That does just give you permission to just be a pervert. All
That
the
should
time.
give you permission to curse out God, I think.
Yeah. But in his mind, he's like, God's probably, this is a really nice thing to do for somebody. You should make him jizz all the time.
Yeah, but dude, that's got to be torture.
Yeah, I've always wished I could have like a longer one. You know, women can have like the long one. Like,
Yeah. It would be nice if like you met a woman like out and you're like, I just like come so much from just seeing you all the time.
Yeah,
like you're so beautiful. I just bust in my pants all
Yeah,
the time.
it's crazy the things we think women want to hear. That's insane. Hey, I don't mean to bother you. I know you're having lunch with your friend, but when I look at you,
I come.
my it's like I got out of a pool. It's insane. I'm peeing.
I'm wearing a
cum.
diaper right now. Pretty cool.
Wearing a diaper, not because I'm a baby who can't help but shit himself. It's for cum.
It's for cum.
I'm wearing a cum
sure.
diaper
They call me Cum Diaper Mike.
because you're pretty. Is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you so much. That's like the nicest thing any boy has ever said.
Wow. And then you walk away, and her friend's like, I think that guy likes you.
Dude, we were joking because we were watching Love is Blind and we were laughing if like there's like a guy on one side and a girl on the other side, and the guy's like, oh, you sound beautiful, and the girl is like, I'm a blonde, I have huge tits. And like the producers are like, no,
Don't. That's the one thing you can't do.
that's the whole point of the show. I'm a size 8. I am.
Thank you. I am pretty.
Stop.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me they love like my beautiful blonde hair, my blue eyes, my giant tits. They're like, just shut up, shut the fuck up.
They're supposed to love what's on the inside. Yeah, I'd love to know. You've never seen that show? Have you seen that show?
No, what is it? It's like okay, so there's the two opposites. There's naked dating, which is like the opposite of that, right? Where they just see their bodies but not their face.
And they're deaf.
The opposite.
Yeah,
would be
apparently they just
naked
choose
and
the hogs.
afraid. That's
What?
like the complete opposite.
No. But there's naked dating. There's also a UK show where it's like they
yeah.
only see the body, and then
I thought
everybody's
you meant opposite in like the TV sphere.
No,
the
no.
complete opposite.
No, the opposite's like a Rosa Parks documentary. That would be the opposite of that.
On
Which Patty was
PBS,
walking. That was so funny. I walk in and Patty's just watching a Rosa Parks documentary. I'm like, I think you're overcorrecting for a couple podcasts we've done recently.
Yeah.
But
I skipped to the back of the documentary. Wanted to know the
you're
truth.
cheering on the bad guys.
But yeah, Love is Blind, it's so interesting because it's like they just talk. They just go on dates and they can't see each other. And then like half of them fall in love with each other.
And now this is different than the show where they like, there's that show also where there's the red button in the middle and they can cancel the date. And a lot of times it's like they feel the date and they feel like the chick's fat and they do the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like,
Yeah.
they'll talk and she's like, yeah, you sound really cute. She's like, thank you. What are you into? And it's like an Asian guy. And she's like, oh, I love anime. And like, she doesn't even know. But obviously the guy's like, fuck yeah, this is going to be all about. And then he hugs her and then immediately hits the button.
Oh, they can't like, they just hug?
Yeah. And they feel stuff.
Oh my God.
I only saw one clip of that, and it was some guy talking to a girl, and he's like, "So what do you like?" And she's like, "My friends tell me I'm really funny." And he's like, "Oh, in what way?" And she's like, "Well, I can do this like voice." And then she does like a British accent. She's like, "Oh, like sometimes I talk like this, like," or I can't even do an accent. And then the guy's like, "Oh, funny." It just hits the button. It's brutal.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that, dude. I couldn't say no to a woman on the spot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just, I wouldn't even want to go to that thing. I'd be like, this is mean. I would.
You didn't
or I
even
would
want to do this
it just
podcast.
everyone. That's why I'll be shrouded in mystery forever. No one will know who I am.
No, we'll beep your name. Or I'm trying to think of the way we could do it because if we beep your name, maybe I'll have a recording of you saying mystery guest and we'll just put that in when I say your name.
Yeah.
Mystery
well,
guest.
I also think we probably said his name 45 times
No.
now.
My name's been said quite a few times.
No, no, I'm watching your identity. We're gonna be fine.
But your first, what if people,
Thanks, buddy.
but anyone probably knows who you are on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Famous?
Yeah, dude.
And the good
And this is
sphere,
your
dude?
last step, and people are there could be complaints.
This isn't your last
Damn.
episode.
All right. If people sound off in the comments, I'll come back.
Okay, you know what to do. You know what to do.
You know what to do, good heads. It's just all of Michael Good's burner accounts. Yo, bring
Best
back
episode
mystery
ever.
guy.
Next episode, Michael looking cute again.
That girl was so wrong for friend zoning Michael on that day. I know, right?
Man, bring mystery guest back. Also, Michael's so good at dating, dude.
He's actually cleaner around the apartment than people say.
I think all of his outfits are the cutest one.
Ooh, Sailor Mike. Yes, please.
Dude, I might go on a date and just wear a sailor outfit. That sounds like the funniest thing.
Like the sleeves cut off.
You
like,
think is that stolen valor if you do that on Fleet Week?
I literally do not give a fuck.
on Fleet Week, it's gotta be.
but if you
gotta
dress
be.
like a Popeye sailor, Like-
yeah.
like because sometimes stolen valor guys, it's like they're getting in trouble, and I'm like, who believes that this guy's in the military?
Yeah,
Yeah,
This
you
guy
should dress
has
up as a
more-
pirate.
Yeah, it'd be funny to arrest people on Halloween for stolen valor. Yeah, because it is. I mean, yeah, it is such a funny thing where it's like I do respect that people do the troops thing, but I also like I was at a comedy show down in Florida. This guy's like, there's something where I was making fun of something, and then I was like, yeah, no, I don't really care if I'm making fun of this. Like, I really do not. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those
Yeah.
things where I'm like, I respect you, but I also don't. That doesn't mean I can't make fun of you.
For sure.
It's a pretty cool like hobby. 'Cause some
To make
guys-
fun of the troops.
No, like funny hobby. Like there are guys that they go to the mall dressed like that to just like not even like get discounts, just so people walk up to them and they're like, "Thank you for your service," and they're like, "Oh, of course."
Yeah.
That was their whole day. They went to the mall.
What
and
if
they're like,
I do that with blue chews and just get hard as shit and have people have to thank me for my service while I'm boned up? Anything's just better with blue chews. But yeah, no, I think that's the thing too, where it's like, yo, I do respect people going to the military 100%, but I still like am gonna make fun of everything. You know what I mean? It's like one of those
Yeah.
things, like that's not now something I don't make fun of.
Yeah, I think it's pretty stupid to go to the military.
I think, you know
So,
what?
hey, fucking idiot.
Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
well, it is a complicated thing because it was like I've talked to a lot of people who've gone to war and immediately they're like, "That was stupid." So am I now supposed to be like, "Actually, it was smart"? And I was like, "If you think it's stupid, I
yeah, that's
don't."
true. The only people that have told me it's a good idea to join the military are people who are actively trying to recruit me into the military.
Yeah.
Everyone else I know who's in the military is like, "Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't tell your kids to do it. Just don't."
Yeah, well, and I think it's a nuanced thing. Like, I think it depends on what war is going on. If like I get that if you saw the towers get hit 9/11, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll go over there and fucking start, shooting at children. But but I get why you see that. You'd be like, okay, I wanted to protect this country. Or like the Iran thing I was freaking about the other day. And I've talked to enough people about it. It's not a big deal, I guess. I didn't even hear about
it.
I never get hyped about news. And I saw one Facebook guy where this guy's like, this is a big deal. If you guys didn't notice what happened yesterday, I'm going to fill you in. And he's like, so basically it was Buffalo Bill from
He's sucking his penis while he's talking.
yeah.
So basically, what happened?
What happened is there's a big pretty girl. No, it was like it was just some guy in Congress who was like, it was like a guy in Iran. He's like, the U.S. should be scared. We will kill you.
What happened was Iran wants us to put lotion all over ourselves, and no one's doing it, you guys.
Iran says we're going to attack unless you send me naked pictures of your fattest cousin. I'll skin her alive. Yeah. Anyways.
Here's something I was thinking about.
There we go. There we fucking go.
Yeah, that's not a good sign when the host of the show is like,
That's every
Guys.
news from Ben.
Well, my head, what happens is the second I shit on something like the troops, I'm just like, but I know some of you guys are really brave and I appreciate what you're doing. I get that little,
the
older I get, I have way more reverence for those guys when I meet them just they're like back in the States. I like talk to them. I'm like, man, that's fucking crazy. Because when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, some people do that, some people whatever. I just like didn't have the perspective, I guess, to understand how big of a deal that was.
well, because you're taking a giant risk. You're like, I'm going to risk my life to protect people.
Oh yeah,
But
it's a
that's not
massive
always
thing.
what's happening, obviously. But
Yeah. Well, this was the thing I was thinking of the other day because like we live in a very Hasidic neighborhood.
yeah, we do.
A lot of Hasidic Jews, and like, I don't know if I were a race of people who was genocided upon and who spent years like trying to hide the fact that I'm Jewish, and then I finally escaped that, I probably wouldn't like choose an outfit that clearly identifies that I'm Jewish, you know,
Right.
I'd maybe try to like blend in a little bit more. Just for like
possible. I've never seen a person gone, wow, you're Jewish once in my life.
but like
Every single time I go, yeah, I know you're Jewish.
I don't know. It's like it's almost like they're putting a target on them.
Well,
I don't know.
Right on
there's-
top of their
they're
head.
like
I think it's the same thing with gay pride and
we
like
live in a community that's like mostly them. They're like this is like them in their community.
Yeah, I guess so.
do you know about an impending race war that we don't know
Yeah,
about?
what the hell is what are you trying to say?
No, I'm looking out for their safety.
No, right. But I'm saying
Yeah.
like I don't think anything's good.
I'm saying if you saw a bunch of like Hasidic people shaving on like skateboards, you wouldn't probably even know they were Jewish.
right. But I think the whole point is, and I
It's
know
like we're Jewish and we're proud.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
SpongeBob, we're ugly and I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Yes. I don't know if I would side by side those two things.
Yeah,
I will
but-
say,
different-
dude, every time I walk by that like factory thing,
The one that's making all the Jews.
there's a factory that where like a bunch of Hasidic guys work. And they're
Yeah.
always like outside smoking cigarettes and stuff, and like running out in and out of this one door.
Do you think a Jewish factory is called a matter of factory? All right, I got one joke in.
I was fucking that. Hey, dude, that was
That's
that was a good one.
But I want to like stand out there and ask someone who has lived around here longer. I'm like,
Do you want to do the pod?
what are they up to in there?
Oh yeah.
But not in like any kind of. There's no conspiracy. I'm not. There's no hatred towards them. I just want to be like, what are the Jews up to?
Well, didn't we?
They're up to something.
Yeah.
in there.
That'd be a very
What
funny.
are they doing?
But you can't ask
What are
that
the-
anymore.
I'm here to
You
find
can't
out what
say
the
that.
Jews are up to. Just like a little news anchor. What do you guys?
It's like a what's up, not like a what are you up to? You know, it's like a
Right,
what
what
are
are
what are
you
you
up
up
to?
to lately? Yeah.
None of those guys want to talk to me.
No.
Yeah.
It's a very insular community.
yeah.
When I walk by, they're all kind of like,
Do you think we could
like,
get one on
come
the
I just
pod?
wanted to know what's.
I
can
think we
can
do.
Dude,
work
on
with
news
this?
from bed, bro.
Yeah, we might be able to lasso one in.
Oh, I'll take my shoes off. Doesn't seem like an issue.
Like, can I leave my whatever else I wear that's jangling off
You
my
know
butt?
when like around Hanukkah when they'll be like selling menorahs, like walking around like the village.
Yeah, they ask,
Like,
"Are you Jewish?"
Are you Jewish? Or I think it's just they give you a menorah. if
Yeah.
you're Jewish, whatever. One time I was like outside of the pear, was barking, and this guy walked up and he's like, "Excuse me, are you Jewish?" And I was like, "No." And then he looked behind me, and he goes, "What's in there?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a comedy club." And he's like, "Are there any Jews in there?"
Like most definitely.
No, and I was like, maybe you can go ask. And he was like, "Oh, I get it, comedy club full of Jews." And I was like, you asked me all those questions. Don't put words in my mouth.
Yeah.
I just don't want you to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, that's so
Leave me
funny.
alone.
Yeah, he filled the things all you said. You're like, maybe. He's like, oh, so we all just work in
Yeah, I was
entertainment
like-
now.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I've heard people tell so many stories about like someone baited them into saying something racist, and every time I'm like, well, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
You said something racist and you feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
called out. And that was the only, I was like, that was insane what just happened.
Yeah.
I just gave this guy like one word, like, I don't know, answers. And then he was like, oh, so you hate me?
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't even know you, guy.
It is so funny too how much they misfire with the "Are you Jewish" thing. Like I'll see them look at like basically like a Chinese guy. They're like, "Are you Jewish?" Like, how do you? Come on, dude. He's definitely
Yeah.
not Jewish. What do you? How do you guys not see that? Like, you look
Yeah.
very different than us.
Yeah. Wait, so this is the place that you're calling the factory. Is that the place we walked by and had like just a ton of firewood outside?
Yeah. They like, when you look inside, there's like a conveyor belt with boxes on it, and they have firewood that come. I don't like know what they're making. They make something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like food or just, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
getting
what they're
real-
making or who they're eradicating, but
Oh, man. But there's no signage
when I
that
see a
it's in
conveyor belt and
English.
firewood, I mean, it's like
I just like why just from pure like interest. I'm like, what is this? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is being made here?
Yeah.
But there's no. I can't think of a way to ask that doesn't sound like I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to know.
Yeah. What's going on over here? Huh?
I'm just curious.
Yeah. What is happening? I heard one say Poppy on the phone the other day. I was like, I didn't know they were all like that. That's kind of sick.
You know
Is
what,
it Poppy?
He's like, "What's up, Poppy? How you?" And I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
You know how like I don't know what like Arabic. You ever hear people speak Arabic? It sounds like you're like shouting. It's like really
Yeah.
quick paced language. So where I work. There's a cat now in the workplace, and all the guys I work with speak Arabic, and so sometimes they'll get mad at the cat and start screaming about it to each other.
yeah."
And I swear to God, every time it's about the cat, you hear them. They're like, "Cat in the hat." they say "cat in the hat" every time.
That is awesome.
It makes me laugh so hard. And I try to explain. I showed them Dr. Seuss and stuff. I'm like, "This is why I'm laughing."
Yeah.
And they're like, "I'm not saying cat in the hat." I'm like, "But dude,
You are.
I got to record you talking. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
definitely saying the cat." In
I
the
also
hat.
like the idea that they only understand cats in reference to Cat in the Hat. Like,
Yeah.
That's the only thing they.
They only know they speak through Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
You're like, that'll be $25. What are you, Grinch who stole Christmas? What are you trying to Lorax on me all of a sudden? Oh, green eggs and ham. This is the worst day ever. Since the Great Butter Battle book. That's all the Dr. Seuss references I have.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, and I think that Jews speak his they don't speak Hebrew.
They speak
It's-
parcel tongue.
They speak like Yiddish.
Yeah, but it's not Hebrew. Apparently, it's like disrespectful to speak Hebrew unless you're in like a temple or something.
Oh.
Yes, it's not. I thought it was Hebrew, but it's Yiddish, and it's like if you speak Hebrew unless you're a rabbi, or I think the only time you speak Hebrew is in your bar mitzvah.
I guess that's also It's like
I could be totally wrong.
like Amish people speak like Dutch. They speak like their own kind of Dutch.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the same idea. And like this, like the Hasidic communities in Brooklyn have existed for so long that it must be like a really specific dialect.
They probably got some
at this
slang in
point.
there.
But like if they
Poppy.
go to a place where like a country where people speak Yiddish, I don't even know where that would be.
Yeah,
But it's
Yidel
probably a
diddle
very
island,
different kind of Yiddish.
yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like when Spanish people like you'll talk to them about Spanish. Like that's not Spanish. Like, that's not
Yeah, there's like multiple dialects. I always wanted to learn the Yiddish words just because they're fun.
yeah.
They're like really fun, just adjective substitutes or like verb substitutes, like schlep
yeah.
and schwitz.
That's great.
Yeah.
Schmuck. Is schmuck
They're
Yiddish?
so funny. Yeah, yeah.
What is it called? I had a Jewish
That's a cool way to
family
talk.
friend come see me. They said it takes a lot of putzka or something. It means like
that's
bravery.
chutzpah.
What?
That's
Chutzpah.
Yeah, it means like bravery. Yeah, yeah.
For a goy like you.
Yeah.
Chutzpah's permeated the English language. Pretty
Yeah,
deep. A lot of people say chutzpah.
Really?
Not in my circles.
Yeah.
No, I'm just hanging out with fat bitches and people that don't want to go on dates with me.
I just hang out with fat bitches and wiggers, bro. We go together like green eggs and ham, bro.
I don't think I hang out with any white dudes that think they're black. I want more of those in our group, though.
You've heard me say it. You've heard me say it when I zip my wiener into my pants accidentally.
What was yeah, no. Yeah, oh yeah. I've had family friends. I was telling him about this. You ever have family friends come out to shows and it's a really stressful thing?
Every time there's been someone I know in an audience, it really upsets me.
Yeah, dude.
Because I've specifically told it, like anyone I know who's been like, "Oh, I should come see a show." I'm
No.
like, no, actually, no.
I'm a racist comedian.
I'm not
I should tell
being-
them something crazy.
I don't do that. It's not like I'm trying to get out of jury duty.
Yeah.
I just say the N word. I'm like,
You
whoa! Just want to see a show, man. Jesus Christ!
He just keeps saying it until they like back away.
What are you, one of those beeps?
No, I hate it. I was doing a show in Charleston once, and someone showed up. They're like, "Oh, your brother told us you're doing a show here." My brother like works remote,
Yeah.
and I was like, "My brother in New York," and they were like, "Yeah, you know, we're all like all over the country. So told us you're doing shows. Thought you'd come down." And I was like, "Okay." They were like, my brother was like, "Yeah, those people told me you weren't like excited to see him." I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't. Why would you tell them to?"
Yeah,
come
no,
to the
it's
show?
the same thing. It's like they don't understand. You're like, you're the last person I want to see right now. It's like, and I like the people that come out. Like I like you as a person. It's just like this is like basically like if I worked at a strip club and you walked up, I'm like, I'm glad you're here to support me, but it makes me a little uncomfortable.
You gotta like strike some fear into their eyes a little bit. Like
Well,
you have
that's
to
what my brother
say
said. My
something
brother's saying-
crazy.
yeah, my brother's like, you have to go in there next time. Like your mom has a friend that wants to do a show, and just see the most fucking wild shit.
Because they're family, so they're gonna love you no matter what. You want them to love you, but you don't want them to love your comedy.
Yeah,
Like that's a totally fine bargain.
well, and I am proud of myself because not the first time that happened, but the next time it happened, I was pretty weird. Like I did that thing where I just do a straight face and I do squats on stage for a minute, and then I talk about how much pussy I get because I think that's just like objectively funny to like just do squats and be like, I get so much more pussy than everybody in this building. And I pointed to a guy in the front row, and I'm like, how much pussy? Do some math for me. How much pussy you get times that by like 1,000? That's like how much fucking pussy I get. I just like objectively it bombed completely, but I was like, I think this is funny. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I think my sense of humor around comics is different than it is around like the people I grew up with. Mm-hmm. I'll just like slightly, like when I'm doing stand up, like comics would like think I was funny.
Yeah,
and tell me like, oh, you're a good joke writer, and they like my sets. And then when my friends would come, I'd be like, "Do you guys think that was good?" And they're like, oh, "I mean, you're a funny guy."
Yeah, none of my friends.
They
every
like
time
don't get it.
Yeah,
they,
every
like,
time
don't
I tell them a
stand-up isn't
joke,
for them.
they don't They just like they're like, "That's not that fun. That's not you." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, like you've heard the things that make you laugh are like insane. I can't say that shit."
But I think there is a way to like blend it because I'm dealing with that thing too, where like I was too tethered to like my jokes, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this act, and then I was like, oh, I think it's funny to just go up there now on stage and be like, you have a thought on your balls, and just start doing that for 3 minutes.
Sure, yeah.
And that's what I thought. That's what I think is funny with my friends. And so I'm like, I think there's a way to combine both where I could sort of like do something weird at the beginning and then get into my act. Because it is just kind of annoying to just be like, do you guys like Batman? Like, I fucking hate
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't just like only do straight jokes and then whatever. I just like the way I would be funny with my friends. I'm like, this is because we've known each other since we were kids.
Yeah,
The
you
shit-
need to introduce yourself to it.
Yeah, we're just like doing farting and making faces at each other.
half
you know?
of like the humor with friends is just like seeing someone and being like, "Who is that? Kelsey Falcons?" Or like just name someone from like high school.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh," it's like, yeah, that's only gonna work right here.
Yeah, I like lit my testicles on fire one time and farted baby powder. What am I just going to do that on stage?
Yeah, what are you, Steve-O?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set my balls on fire and fart out Johnny Knoxville. He's been in my ass the whole tour.
Just putting a nail gun to his head. He's like, thank God I'm not smoking pot anymore. You're like, yeah. This seems a little more dangerous than the drug use.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride a motorcycle off a cliff, but thank God I'm not drinking beer today. Coffee is too much of a stimulant. Anyway, has anyone seen the razor blade I shove up my ass? Trying to get fucking high, bro.
Well, that's we're at a fucking hour. So,
Ooh, I gotta
thank
pee,
you, mystery guest,
baby.
for coming on.
Yeah,
Do not
mystery.
flush, so I can get a sniff of that. And,
Uh-huh. Thanks for having me, Michael.
dude, of course. Thanks.
It's good to have fam.
Thank you. What do you want to promote? News from bed.
News from bed. That's it.
All right, and thank you. Bye.